with the Steeler, but a nearby cop advised him to learn how to box first. He did, and the rest, as they say, is history. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shayl an 8th grader at Orchard Lake Middle School, and I invite you to join me on a journey about the life of the one and only Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is perhaps the most admired boxer ever. He's the only 3-time lineal heavyweight champion. He's also been named Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year 6 times. Let's enter the ring with his birth, family, and childhood. Muhammad Ali was born January 17, 1942, to Cassius Clay Sr. and Odessa Clay. He was born eldest of 2 sons. His father worked as a billboard and signs painter, and his mother was a cleaning lady whenever money was tight. Let's take a plunge at his education. Muhammad Ali graduated from Central High in Louisville, Kentucky in the year 1960, the same year that he won an Olympic gold medal. He graduated 376 out of 391 students graduating that year. His teachers didn't think he was very bright, and many would agree, but he was definitely popular. He'd often walk the halls boasting jabs and crosses, while showing off his awards and his titles. Let's box our way into his youth life. At only 12 years old, Muhammad Ali's new bike was stolen. He was enraged and got a hold of a nearby police officer named Joe Martin, who happened to be a boxing coach. Martin asked Ali if he could fight, but he replied simply with, "No, but I'll beat him up anyways." After this, Martin coached Ali and taught him the technicalities of the sport. Let's weave into his work. Muhammad Ali was a very unorthodox boxer. He kept his hands low, leaving his upper body open. This would tempt opponents to attack him. Sometimes Ali would dodge, and this would leave the opponent open. Sometimes Ali would strike, and sometimes he'd repeat a strategy until the opponent was tired, and then he'd have an easy win. Muhammad Ali would predict the round that he would defeat his opponent, and then he proceeded to do it. He said, and I quote, "If my mind can conceive it, my heart can believe it, and then I can achieve it." What this quote means is that if you put your mind to something and believe in yourself, you'll be able to do it. However, Muhammad Ali was not only a boxer, he was also an actor, a social activist, and a philanthropist. He donated a lot of money to good causes, and he cared about the welfare of others. He wanted equality, and he wanted the world to be a better place for everyone. He converted to Islam, the religion of peace. Let's take a peek into his marriage and children. Muhammad Ali was married 4 times. First was Sanji Roy, then Khalila Ali, then Veronica Porsche Ali, and finally Lani Ali. He had 9 children spread between the 4 wives, 7 daughters and 2 sons. One of his daughters, as you may know, is Layla Ali, a well-known boxer in her own right. Everyone makes mistakes, so let's look into some of Muhammad Ali's. A possible mistake that Muhammad Ali has made is turning his back on his closest friend, Malcolm X. Malcolm X had decided to split with the Nation of Islam, and Ali did not support this decision, so therefore turned away from him. He later wanted to apologize, but it was too late because Malcolm X was assassinated. Another possible mistake that Muhammad Ali has made is reflected in his fractured relationship with his only natural son, Muhammad Ali Jr. Jr. claims to not have spoken to his father between the years of 2014 and his father's death, reasoning that Muhammad Ali did not help his own son get into a better situation. Instead, Ali Jr.'s family, a wife and 2 kids, were left on the brink of poverty, living off of food stamps and church charity. Ali Jr. admitted to not having cared about his own father's death. Let's cross right into his criticism, something that we all face. One time that Muhammad Ali was criticized was for draft evasion. People thought that he was just avoiding war, when Ali stated that it was because of his religion. Deep inside, Ali felt that he did not want to go to war because he lived in a time of racial segregation, and he did not want to fight the white man's war. Another time that Ali was criticized was for the way he treated other boxers, like Joe Frazier. Ali would call Frazier a gorilla and ugly and dumb, and although he later apologized, many people did not like this. Raise your hand if you face rejection in your life. Muhammad Ali definitely has. One time that Muhammad Ali was rejected was by a waiter at a restaurant. He was told, "We don't serve Africans." Ali replied with a smart aleck comment, "Well, we don't eat them." After this, he was kicked out of the restaurant. Another time that Muhammad Ali was rejected was by his idol, Sugar Ray Robinson. He was ecstatic to get an autograph when he was turned down. He was devastated and promised to never turn down an autograph from a fan. Let's look into some of his outstanding achievements. Muhammad Ali is the only three-time lineal heavyweight champion. He's also the only boxer to be named to win. He's one of the youngest boxers to win an Olympic gold medal. He's won over 50 titles and championships. He even has an award named after him called the Muhammad Ali Humanitarian Award. Let's look into some awards that he has won. He has won 3 lineal heavyweight championships, an Olympic gold medal, 1974 Male Athlete of the Year, BET Humanitarian Award, and Presidential Medal of Freedom from George Bush. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude this journey by telling you why I chose Muhammad Ali. Although he recently died, the more I read about him, the more intrigued and inspired I was by his legacy and his personality. I admire his self-confidence, and he's an inspiration to sports lovers like myself. I loved his bold stand against the Vietnam War, and how he held firm for what he believed in, but also apologized for his mistakes. Vidyanti's confidence class has taught me to be willing to take opportunities, and has also made me better at public speaking. Without her class, I wouldn't be able to stand here and present this speech in front of all of you today. Before I go, I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank the judge, Mr. Rubin, for taking off his Saturday evening to come here and judge us. I'd like to thank Vidyanti for helping me out in confidence class and teaching me public speaking. I'd like to thank my mentors, Dhruv and Sheetalanti, for mentoring me and giving me tips for this project. I'd like to thank my parents for pushing me along and making me stick with this project. Finally, last but not least, I'd like to thank you, the audience, for coming here patiently and listening to my speech. Thank you.
You said he didn't help his son out of poverty. What was that all about? What was his disagreement with his son?
So basically, his son was born to his second wife, and his last wife, his son's stepmom, Rani Ali, did not like Muhammad Ali Jr. and kept Muhammad Ali away from him. And also, it was because of his Parkinson, where he almost entirely forgot about his own son's existence.
And so you mentioned the Vietnam War, and you know that he was drafted, and that you know he refused to serve. So I want to ask a question, kind of going by what's going on today, along the same lines of civil disobedience. Do you think it's right when football players do not stand for the national anthem as a sign of protest?
Well, I believe that that is their opinion, and if they do not want to stand for the national anthem for any reason, such as maybe the way they're treated, then that's their choice, and they can decide to kneel if they would like to.
Go ahead. Muhammad Ali had a disease at the end of his life. What disease did he have?
He had Parkinson's disease, and that's what killed him June 3rd of this year.
One from this side. Go ahead.
Was there a reason why Muhammad Ali converted to Islam?
Well, he believed that it was the religion of peace, and that's mostly why he converted to Islam.
Round of applause.